You gotta sit still to be crowned as king. Oh my God, I'm in my flow state. I found God and now I know me. Brand new mode, I'm in my own lane. Those who know, you know they don't say. Those who say they don't know what they.
What is going on, guys? It's your boy Coach Will, and we are live on my Facebook page, Create Freedom Academy's page on Facebook, as well as Soulful Consciousness on YouTube as well, guys. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, guys. Today, interesting little conversation, guys. Haven't been live in a while, so I said let me go live and have a little conversation since I have time. You know, a lot of things have been going on. We've been driving, we've been dealing with a lot of random things, but today we get an opportunity to have a conversation. And in this conversation, let's just make sure I can hear, making sure that I can hear myself, making sure sound check is good, all of that nature, guys. So the purpose of this live stream, guys, is we're going to take a deep dive into basically relationships and navigating love, a deep dive into relationship dynamics. Now, I'm no expert. I'm just a married man that's been doing it for 17 plus years. Today happens to be my little man's birthday. He is, well, not birthday, but soul day. Turns 15 years old. Right now he's with his mom, watching a movie, one of his favorite movies and things like that. So while he's watching a movie, I'm doing a live stream. If you guys want to show the little man some love, I will put his green light QR code in the description if you guys want to show him some love on his 15th birthday or 15th soul day, as well as if you guys want to check out any of my merch that I have. It's at the very bottom, scrolling across the bottom there. It's called Deep Thought Threads over there on Etsy. But the first thing, guys, is the conversation has to be about what is going on in this proverbial world that we live in today, and how you have to step back and look at all the chatter, what's been going on, and how relationships are being strained. And what I mean by strained, there's so many different things that are being played on. You know, oh, you have to have this amount of money. You have to have this amount of money. You have to take me here. You have to take me here. You have to take me somewhere hella expensive for me to be able to show that I'm that broad or I'm that chick or any of that. And that's not the focal point. You know, everybody's talking about it. It's on social media everywhere. You know, I know most of you guys have seen the video with the young lady talking about her dude was going to take her to Cheesecake Factory, and she didn't think that she should be going to Cheesecake Factory on a date. Now, then there's some other videos that I've seen where they have to have X amount of dollars, X amount of cents before the lady will even, show him any type of anything. And it's not, I shake my head because I'm from the generation where if you took a female on a date, you were trying to get to know her. Now, you're not trying to break the bank in that initial date. You know, if it's her birthday, if it's, some special occasion, like she did something that she did in her life while you're dating her, you might spend some dollars and cents, but it was never, predicated on how much money you spent on that sus date. It was never predicated on that. But now there's so much emphasis on how much money you spend on a date. That makes that you as a man, your relevance and how much, who you are as a man and what you can do to provide is based on how much money you have. Now, I don't know where this genre is coming from, but it doesn't logically make sense. And why it doesn't logically make sense is if I'm dating a female, well, I'll just put it like this, for example. So when I started dating my wife, me and my wife been married 17 years. Been together almost 20. And she's older than I am. or not older, I should say younger than I am in the way you mindset. If you talk as if you're old, then you'll be old. If you talk as if you're young, then you'll be young. That's why you got to have a old soul, but a young mindset. And so if you look at her and look at me together, we look like we in our 20s because we have a youthful, young inside. And that's how you have to be. That's how you keep the spark. That's how you keep the energy inside. If you're always like, oh, I'm old and you're going to be that. What you are, what you say is what you are. That's why when I'm around people and they say, oh, I'm getting old. No, it's like, no. Stop, hold that, brakes, pause. You're such and such wise. You got some wisdom on you. Back in the day, it was a thing to have. If you had a long beard and it had some grays in there, that meant that you've been through some stuff, that you knew something, that was that you were wise. If you have rings under your eyes, that means that you were wise and that you had some knowledge that you could give some young folk. But nobody really wants to pay attention to that now. It's all about what you can do for me now. What can you do? It's not for what you can do for me now. It's what can you do for me now and what can you do for me later. And like it's backwards. Really, it's backwards. And nobody's paying attention to what's actually happening. And what's actually happening is that the world is in negative decline. And what I mean, the birth rate is on a decline. You can look it up. It's statistics. For every person that goes on to the next level, to a better life, spiritually, leaves this planet, there's not anybody replacing it. For every one person that dies, there needs to be like 3 or 4 people that are being born. So in the world, for every 1,000 people that would be passing away, passing to the next level, there would be people that were being born. But it's not like that, because if you look at how the trend is going, women are not having babies. Men are having a hard time finding relationships because everything is predicated on how much money you have. Now, I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but if you've been living under a rock, you'll see that a date is going to cost a decent date. Now, I'm not doing nothing crazy. I still date my wife. I still take my wife out on dates. It should be like, I don't know what you're talking about, trying to, suss me down or whatever like that. But, I still take my wife out on dates. Do I spend a crap ton of money on the date? No. Does it mean that I don't value her? It's more about the value of me spending time with her. Me sitting here, her sitting there, and me being able to look at her face and just look at her glowing, just, seeing her smile, and, and when she gets it, so whatever, it's the different level, because in the beginning, you're trying to get to know the person. What sense does it make to spend $200 and $300 on a female that you don't even know that you're going to be with? Why should I break the bank spending thousands of dollars on multiple dates? That's not a good investment. You spend intermittently to see if this female is the right type of female that you're going to want to be in your life. Because at the end of the day, when you're marrying somebody, you're finding a helpmate to help you get to the next level. You're helping her, she's helping you, and you guys are a team coming together to go to the next level, to be empowered. That's why you have to be careful when you do specific things, So here's a couple of things, guys. There's not anybody in here. People will catch it on the replay. That's fine. But number one, communication. How can we enhance our communication to better understand each other's needs and feelings? So that's the first thing. Communication. In relationships, is there any, valid communication, or is it just one-sided? Is it all about what you can do for me now? What can you provide? Nobody's communicating. It's all, I need this, I need that, I need this type of dollars, I need this type of cents, I need this. It's all about need, I, what. Have you ever wondered, like, the relationships that last a long time, there's give and take, right? There's compromise. There's expressing what you need out of a relationship, what you need from your spouse, what you need from your girlfriend, because at the end of the day, you're trying to see if you guys can collaborate together to get to the next goal. Collaboration is key. If you don't have collaboration, then what you got? What do you got? I'll be on TikTok and stuff like that, and I'll be doing live streams, and nobody really pays attention and things like that. But hey, it is what it is. So I said, let me come over here. I ain't done a live stream in a minute. But communication. If you have a problem, communicate. I have a big issue with people. I'm not gonna say I have a big issue. I have challenge with people that feel like they want to be in a relationship, but they want to go cheat. I have a challenge with that. Now, don't be married, don't be in a relationship if you're going to cheat. Well, some people's like, oh, I can have this, I can have that. Men are not supposed to be this. Yeah, I look at it this way, and this is my philosophy. Don't take my choice away. If it says in the Bible that the marriage bedroom is the only thing that cannot be defiled. So if you and your spouse come together, you communicate, hey, I need this. I'm not getting this. Can we bring somebody else into this for me to be able to get what I want and you to be able to get what you want? That's a choice. You have a choice. Most relationships, when somebody goes outside of the relationship or outside the marriage, they take the choice from the man away. If you take the choice away and you both are in agreement, what's the problem? You got to communicate your feelings. Men nowadays, we can't communicate our feelings because we're defined as being weak. We're defined as being soft or simp or any of that. But you also got to remember, a lot of this stuff is people's opinions, people's, their thoughts, their ideas, and it's made to become like it's law, it's the truth. It's some of it has some truth and some of it doesn't. Some of it's to set you up. Like you have to communicate. The more communication you have, the more it enhances your relationship, the more that it enhances your life. That's the key. I mean, that's the big key. That's the big key, right? That's the big one. Communicating your feelings. As men, we're told we're not supposed to shed tears. We're not supposed to open up about our feelings. The only person that should really see a man's feelings is his spouse behind closed doors, away from this person, away from this person, away from this person. This world out here beats us to crap, beats us down. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, this world beats us down. So when they say when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. A man finds a wife, and the wife, her job, I will say her job is to be sus man's peace. And what I mean peace is he's been beat down all day, going to work, working over here, doing this, doing that, me being basically raped, not physically, but mentally and emotionally and psychologically raped every day for a little bit of money. He goes to work, gets home from work. All he really wants is just to be made feel like he's a human being again. 9 times out of 10, we don't feel like we're human beings again because we've been berated. We've been just downright disrespected all day, every day. Nobody understands that. Communication. You have to, how do you say it? You have to tread the water lightly. You have, nowadays in society, it's that you have to have 2 incomes, right? So you're basically destroying the household because both parents have to go to work. They're at work all day. They don't see each other except when they get home. And then physically, I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? So man goes to work. Nowadays, women have to go to work. Women go to work, men go to work. When they're both home, what time do they have time? When do they have time to nurture each other? When do they have time to pay attention to each other? They might get the chance to sit down on the couch and have a wine or something like that and talk to each other how each other's day was. He might rub her feet, she might rub his feet. And then if there's any time available, you might get to take a shower or a bath with your lady. You might be able to get a little something at night. but she's tired. She's been on her feet all day, and then she's got to cook for you too. So the dynamics have changed. There has to be communication. The communication has to be on point. You know, I watched my father, he's been married to his wife for 30 something odd years, almost 40 years, something like that. And well, I come from a divorced home. You know, my mom and my dad divorced, and my dad got remarried, my mother didn't. I watched how my stepmom took care of my dad. I did, and when he has his challenges and things, I see how attentive she is, so I watched that, and then I watch how some of the things that go on in society don't match up. Men are built differently than women are, just hands down. They're built different, and we're able to carry a lot more than women are. Not, that's no disrespect to women. We're just built that way. Spiritually, biblically, emotionally, physically, mentally, we're just built a little bit different. Doesn't mean that they're not, where they need to be. It's just that we're genetically built a different way. So we have tasks. You could take a poll, and in such poll, you could find out, on average, if you asked if everything was cool, if you asked a woman, would they rather have to go to work and work 40 hours a week, or would they rather be at home? All they have to do is take care of the kids, take care of the house, cook, clean, take care of the husband when he gets home. And after that, and then she get a little dollars and cents, not little, but she gets some money on the side, so she doesn't have to break her body down. Men's body are built to go out here into the wilderness. If you go back in the day, the men went out and they killed the beast. They killed the prey. They killed the food, the buffalo, the warthog, the bear, the ox. They went out and did that. They went out and did the work. That's why when the man brings the kill home on his back and he's all dirty and stuff like that, he brings the kill back. Why you suppose he slams it down or lays it down and he go over here? The woman was the one that was cooking. She was cooking. She knew how to cut the meats off, cut all the stuff off and make that dinner. He went out and killed the beast. So he's got to go kill the beast, then come home and cook the beast. And in this, that's why things are different, and it's not saying that women are supposed to just be in the kitchen. No. It's not saying that. That's the way it was. You go to some African tribes, that's how it is. Women took on that responsibility and they were proud of it. They were proud to be able for that man to go out into the wilderness, kill whatever they did, bring it back home. I want to ask you a question, guys. Why do you think physically, in our minds, why do you think men are attracted to women with big butts? Why you think why you think that is? And it's not because they want to see this. It's something that was done and it was a turn on. Now ask yourself, besides it being a turn on, what was it? And when you think about it, is that when the animal was killed and brought back and the woman was cooking it, was cutting the meat up, tenderizing and putting the herbs and spices and stuff like that, what would they have to do? They'd have to go build they would know how to build the fire, right? So the man was all bloody and stuff like that from killing and roughaging through the mud and the wilderness and stuff like that, nursing himself together, trying to get himself together, right? Well, this is my idea of it. And you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong. This is my idea. This is my ideology of this, right? So the reason why men have a affinity for women with big butts is because after they killed the prey, they brought it back. Women would know how to make the fire. They would know how to cook, and sometimes they'd have to go, rummage for firewood. So they would have to start bend over and, be like, ooh, and if they had a baby, and they had a baby there, the hips would get wider, some of that weight would shift to the back, and it would be like, ooh, that's what it would be. But it was about what the process of what was going on. That's just my thoughts about it. So that's the whole genre of communication, is you have to know what your man or what your woman wants, what she wants out of that relationship, what she wants out of your potential marriage, what she wants out of it. Because once you know what she wants and once she knows what you want, you guys can collab and you guys can go to the next level. But there's so much not knowing what each other's wants, and you guys are just trial by fire, and then that's why you have so many marriages failing. Everybody is, I'm gonna go sleep with her. You're trying the cow. I don't mean any disrespect, but the unsung saying is, get the cow. Try the milk before you buy the cow. It's like, it shouldn't be like that. Because for me, and in my mind, ask yourself this: for men, would you stick your pole in a drain, what is it called, garbage disposal? Would you get your stuff junk on right and be like, oh, I want to stick it into a garbage disposal and pray that nobody turns the dang thing on? Man, no, you wouldn't do that. So why would you go ahead and share yourself with somebody that you don't know? They talk about bodies and this and that and the other, so on and so forth. It is important, but it's not so important, because that's a spiritual connection. And in my mind, and what I've learned and what I've seen, is that so many people are sleeping around and they're getting connected to other spirits. And sex is spiritual. And the more people that you've laid down with, the more spiritually connected you are to each individual person that they slept with, and then they're connected to each person that you slept with. Wouldn't that make you not want to sleep around if you knew that you were being connected to somebody that had a nasty soul? Hence why I said, would you want to get your junk on right and stick it in the garbage disposal? You wouldn't want to do that. So that's why you got to be cognizant of what you're doing and who you're doing it to. Not everything that glitters is gold, and not everything that gold is glitters. So you got to communicate what you want in such relationship at this point in time, and then know where you guys want to go. Because once you guys know where you guys want to go, then, man, the sky is the limit. Be careful what you ask for, because what you ask for, you got to remember that the Most High is omnipresent. Sometimes you entertain angels and you don't even know what you're entertaining. You got to be very specific what you want, because he will answer he will answer the desires of your heart, but you got to be careful what you ask for. I remember back in the day, I wrote down everything I wanted in a wife, everything down to, I'm talking the lips, the thighs, the hips, the chest, the eyes, the butt, the thighs, the legs, the heart, everything, and I got what I wanted. Now, not everything that you think you want is not what the Most High wants. Got to remember that. So that's just the first part, guys. So that's number one. That's communicating. Communication is key. That's the first thing in getting into a relationship and having a strong relationship. You have to have communication. Now, number two, guys. Number two is quality time. How can you prioritize quality time together amidst your busy lives? You have to have quality time. QT time is what I call it. If you have QT time, bro, but you gotta, with busy lives and work schedules, and I've even heard of couples having to schedule sex times. Like, what kind of mess is that? Trying to have to schedule sex, because everybody's life is busy. You have kids, you got moms, you got dads, you got finances, you got bills, you got everything going on to distract you from building relationships, because you got to remember, the goal is to make there no relationships, there's no kids, there's nobody being born. That is the big thing. You got to schedule out quality time. Now, quality time can be amidst a bunch of different things, guys, a bunch of different things. And when I say quality time, that could just be sitting down, watching a movie together, having popcorn, turning your home into a movie theater. Because I mean, I don't know too many people that go to the movies anymore. Everything is pretty much on YouTube or Hulu or Amazon Prime or Peacock or any of or Netflix or any of that stuff. So you got to schedule quality time. If you're working, put it on a calendar when you're going to schedule your quality time, because if you put it on a calendar, it exists. If you don't put it on a calendar, you don't plan, it doesn't exist. Make sure you put it on a calendar so you can get it done, guys. So you can get it done. Not too many people they don't think of the stuff. Relationships is key. Diving deep into relationship dynamics is what it's key. You have to schedule time. I'm a truck driver, man. I be on the road. I be wanting to go home. I be wanting to, do what I gotta do. But it's hard sometimes, especially with this economy. This economy is not favoring couples and marriages. It's not, because your bills are getting higher, your wages is not moving. So it's kind of hard to schedule time to be able to have a good time, to be able to take your kids out, to take your wife out, make her feel like a woman. Making your woman feel like a woman doesn't just mean sex. Doesn't mean buying something. It could just be slapping her on the behind and letting her know that you see her. Letting her know that you value her. Letting her know that you appreciate her. Not every time has to be. Sometimes it's just sending her flowers randomly. I know flowers is expensive nowadays, but maybe you at work and maybe you just want to surprise her and send her flowers. Just random things like that. We've gotten away from the stuff that is like heartwarming. Like in a movie and stuff like that. That is real life. Women feel that way. Just buy her flowers on random day. Just because it's Tuesday. You guys remember the movie Joanna, man, where Vivica Fox said she told Joanna, man, she just wanted flowers just because it's Tuesday. And then he was like, oh, and that's what he did. He really did like her, but he was a guy, the whole transvestite or trans, thing. But he was listening to her, and he bought her flowers just because it was Tuesday. That's real life stuff that you could actually do that will change the game. The game has not changed. It's the way we perceive the game is what's changed. Like I used to like doing just random spontaneity things, and people used to get envious of me or jealous of me. And I'll dive into this real quick. So for a long time, I'm a dreamer, and I think of things that are out of the ordinary. And when I say out of the ordinary, I don't stay in the realm of, oh, you can't do this, you can't do. I think in the realm of things that will just make you, blow you away. Things that will make, like, you only see that in movies, because movies are things that happen in real life. They're just put into a movie to make us feel like they'll never be possible. Believing is seeing, and then believing is seeing. Seeing is not believing, right? So I'll tell you what I did for my wife one time. So, and I got a lot of, hate for it, but when you hear it, you won't understand it. But this is what I did one time. So one time, me and my wife were talking, and I asked her, I said, have you ever been in a limo? She's like, no, I've never been in a limo. I was like, what? I was like, really? So me being me, I go into my head and I'm like, how can I plan this? So, it's my wife's birthday is coming up at this specific time. And I'm like, how can I do something that's crazy? Now we both had this like for this restaurant. It was called Cheeseburger in Paradise in Indianapolis. We both lived in Indianapolis at the time. And she had never been in a limo. So I went into sneaky mode, as you could call it. Sneaky mode in a good way. So I then proceeded to call around to see how much a limo ride will cost. Now, I'm not making a whole lot of money at this point, but remember, it's not about the money. It's about the act. You can spend a little bit of money, but it's the thought that goes into the act. People have lost the act or the thought that goes into the act. It's all about the money right now. But let me continue. So I did this as I proceeded to call around and try to find a limo company that would drive us around. And they were hitting me with some prices that were high for me at that specific point. Because I was working, I was paying bills, and we had a kid. We still had a kid at this point. And I said, "How much is it to pick up and drop off?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this." I said, So I was like, "All right." So what I did is I put a plan together. We both liked this restaurant. It was called Cheeseburger in Paradise, and this was out in Indianapolis, in Castleton, right? And we lived at that point. We lived downtown Indianapolis at that point. So what I did is I had her get all dressed up. I said, "Yeah, babe, just get all dressed up. We're gonna go do something." And I had somebody take me and follow me so I could drop my car off at the restaurant out in Charleston, or out in Castleton, Indiana, where the restaurant that we were going to, right? I dropped my car off there. They drove me back. So, remind you, she had never been in a limo at this specific time, never. And I was really blown away by that. So I was like, all right. So I came home. I said, get all just dressed up. And she has no idea what's going on. No idea, right? So I tell her if I remember correctly, I said, "Yeah, she got all dressed, I got all dressed," and she's like, "Well, where are we going?" I said, "Oh, you'll see." So I had the guy pull up. I said, "Come to my house at 7:00 on the dot." So I said, "Yeah, babe." He called me. I'm like, "All right, cool. We're on our way out." So we come out, right? We come out, and the limo pulls up. She's blown away. She didn't think I was paying attention. She didn't think I was listening to her, right? So the limo pulls up. She's blown away. She's never been in a limo in her life before. And mind you, I didn't have all that type of money. I was working, but it wasn't a whole lot of money. This is years ago. And she got in, looking good, happy, smiling ear to ear. And we took a ride. We went by her friend's house so she could get her gift from her friend. Went one more other place, and then we went out to the restaurant, right? So she didn't know that my car was already there. I did it so sneakily that my car was already. She didn't know where my car was. So we got all the way there, and we ate, had a good time, had our drinks and stuff like that. She had a great soul day, right? And then she's like, "Well, babe, how are we gonna get back home? We took the limo." I was like, "My car's over here." She's like, "Your car's over here?" I'm like, "Yeah." I planned it out. Do you think it cost me a whole lot of money to do that? No, it didn't. But it was the thought that went into the action that made the action blow up. And I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money. I think at that point I maybe spent $100 on the limo and $50 on the food. So $150 on a special occasion at a restaurant that we both liked. This is years ago. So quality time, we got an opportunity to just spend some time together. And sometimes the little things are what make the little things turn into big things when you didn't do a whole lot. But we got away from that. So always take time to do the little things. Always take time to figure out ways to spend quality time, and you don't have to break the bank. So much is predicated on breaking the bank nowadays, and it's like, for what? You don't have to spend $200 and $300 and $400 for one date. You want multiple dates. There's nothing wrong with taking a lady on a coffee date. Maybe you guys get a coffee and you go for a walk in the park. That's quality time. That's getting to know each other, getting to know what each other's thinking. There's nothing wrong, taking a lady to Cheesecake Factory. There's nothing wrong taking her to Longhorn Steakhouse or PF Chang's or any of that. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys have to don't listen to what social media is saying, because it's ass behind backwards. Everybody wants a six-figure dude, but nobody understands that a six-figure dude is going to be working. It's not, there's not a high percentage of men, and I think this percentage, I put it on my TikTok in my statistic. I think out of all the men on the planet, only 65 million of them are six-figure earners. So just think about that. And then how many of the 65 million men on planet Earth, think about how many people are within your state and percentage of the men that are in your state that are six-figure earners, and how many females across the board that are in your state are able to get sus men that make six figures. Don't get swindled by how much money the person has, because a man's worth and a man's creativity is not based off his wallet. Just remember that. So the next thing, guys, will be conflict resolution. So conflict resolution, what strategies can be used to navigate conflicts and disagreements conservatively? Conflicts come in many different ways. Conflicts come in the form of whether you want kids, whether you don't, whether you want this car, whether you don't, whether you want to travel here, whether you don't, whether you want to save for this, planning for the house, vacations, issues with family. It's all about how you resolve conflicts. And every conflict has a resolution. It's just a matter of how much energy you want to put into fixing such conflict. Conflicts are basically traps by the enemy to distract you, to break you guys up, to break your unionship up, to make you feel, to cuss this person out, to slam doors, to say you're this or say you're that. It's not predicated on what the whole issue is. While you're getting mad at each other and you're cussing out the evil one, the devil over here in the background laughing his ass off like, ha ha ha, I got him. He chopping it up, laughing at you, and you mad. Why? Some things are you can be upset about. Some things you should be upset about. But in all actuality, guys, conflicts can be navigated very easily. I don't like being overtalked. I mean, that's just me. I don't like being overtalked. But like my spouse doesn't like being overtalked. I think that there's a line between doing too much and doing too little. You can end a conflict real quick. She's like, babe, you could say babe or you could say hun. They could be like, I feel like can you just blow my back out? I mean, like, can you do that? Can I, you want some head? Something like that. Excuse my language. I mean, stuff like that, would kill any argument, but we're so fixated on the issue and the challenge right then and there. We just bypass the funny thing that could fix it. In my opinion, I mean, navigating the conflict is, don't be disrespectful. Don't talk out of your name. Don't call the woman this. Don't call the man that. Don't, insult his manhood. Don't insult his intelligence. Don't disrespect him. Don't degrade him, because then you're degrading yourself. All the degrading that you're talking and say that the crap that you're saying to your spouse or your spouse is saying to you is just degrading yourself. If you got quiet for a second and thought about what you were going to say before you said it, 90% of arguments and 90% of things would not go the way they go. I mean, that's just hands down. But that's navigating conflicts, guys. Be careful what you say, how you do. Don't overestimate and underappreciate the person that you're with. The little things. We've gotten away from the little things, and the little things are important because the little things are what build relationships, and the little things are what destroy relationships. You gotta remember that. The little things are what build relationships, and the little things are what destroy relationships. Trust takes forever to gain and seconds to lose. And a lot of people do stupid things to lose the trust in their spouses. And 90% of the time it's cheating or it's something out of the ordinary. So just remember that do the little things. The little things are what keep her. The little things are what keep him. The big things come later. I would rather grow with a woman that's grinding with me when I have nothing, so when I have everything, I can give her the world. That's my philosophy. You grind with me when I ain't got shit, girl, please. When I got shit, oh, you're getting that. You're getting this. You're getting that. You want to go here? Sure, no problem, because you grinded with me when I had nothing. Conflicts are only as big as you make them. they're not a big conflict. It's kind of stupid that a lot of conflicts are only as big as they make. So, all right, guys. So the number 4, right? Individual goals. How do our individual goals align, and how much we can support each other on achieving them? So if you guys are in a relationship and your spouse says, or your spouse says, or your girlfriend says she wants to go here. We'll say she wants to go to Italy. And it's us men, we want to give a woman the world. We want to do whatever we can to make sure that they have what they need and what they want, right? So if we want to give them the world, we have to proactively plan. Men plan. And what Kevin Samuels talking about, men always think of the cost before doing anything. We do. That's just something that we do because we are providers, and we want to make sure that everything goes as planned, right? So immediately when your woman tell you she wants to go someplace, we're immediately in our head trying to figure out how we cost average and everything. We're trying to figure out how much is it going to cost, who's going to go, how we're going to get there, where we're going to stay. Our mind is going a billion miles per second. And a lot of people don't understand the philosophy that goes behind that, or everything that goes into trying to make sure that what our spouse wants, she can get, as long as we get something out of it. A lot of times it's give and take, so I would say put a plan in place and go over the plan with your spouse to make sure that it aligns with what she wants to do when she wants to go. And then you have to come down to this realization that, hun, if you want to go here, there's going to be some sacrifices here to get you there. I'll do this, you do this, so we can go here. You're happy, I'm happy. Navigating the goals. Now, if I have a goal, say like one of my goals was I wanted to be a truck driver years ago. And I told her that. I said, in to be able to be financially sound, working here is not going to work. It's not going to cut it. Yeah, you get benefits. Yeah, but with the price of everything going up, you're not going to make any money being a W-2 employee. You're not going to get rich by being a W-2 employee. You're not. So you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to think outside the box. You have to get a skill. You have to get a trade. Any of those things are going to help you get to the next level. You're not going to get rich by working for somebody else. You can look at Warren Buffett. You can work at Mark Cuban. You can look at Kevin O'Leary. You can look at all those guys. They will all tell you in their own way, the only way to get rich is to be in business for yourself. Now, in this economy, and they're trying to get away from people being business owners, but it will change eventually. But you have to understand that in this, guys, in it, goals, you have to write them down. Put a date on them. Long-term goals, where you want to see yourself, how much money you want to have, and then implement that. And then go through how you're going to implement them. Your goals, her goals, she looks at your goals, you look at her goals, and you bring them together so you guys can get to the next level. It's not just, we're going to go do this, we're going to go do it. You have to plan. In this economy, the way that it is now, you have to plan to make sure that you can get to the next level. It doesn't happen by osmosis. It takes consistency and overall grit to get what you want nowadays. Your goals have to align with her goals, and her goals have to align with your goals. That's how you guys come together and become the best possible group that you guys can be. Now, guys, so number 5, intimacy. In what way can we maintain and enhance emotional and physical intimacy in our relationships? Bro, like trying to plan intimacy, I mean, most women would say you mess with them all day. And what I mean by mess with them all day, you send little sexy messages. You say, I'm going to do this or this or this to you, like I can get a little PG, I can get a little rated R. I'd be like, man, I just want to drink you. Like, I want to get my beard wet. You know what I'm talking about. You know, I don't want nothing. I just want to. How I would do it. I won't get too crazy, but I'll be like, I just want to feel you shiver. I want to drink you. I want to feel your liquids go into my mouth. I want to feel you shake. I want to feel your heartbeat. I mean, you can get creative. You know, sometimes most men don't realize there's some things that you can do. You know, the most beautiful thing is, looking at a woman. Like I want you guys to envision this, right, guys, and I want you guys to understand a few things, right? So whether your woman is white, whether your woman is black, she still births children, right? She still births children. When she gets pregnant, her belly gets big, her chest gets big, everything is glowing, her hair might start to shine. Attributes about her are going to shine. Her thighs are going to get a little bigger, her butt's going to get a little bigger. Appreciate those things. Things that I do, like I be telling my wife, like, I can. I love the fact that she can cross her toes. She crosses her toes. It's cute to me. It's cute. Not too many people cross their toes while they're sitting there. You know, sometimes some people are like, oh, I suck toes or anything like that. I mean, that's some people like doing that. Some people don't. But you can turn a woman on without having to at all. You can make her feel. You can feel her body without feeling her body, right? You know, I don't know how many of you guys will do this. This is a Scorpio. But how many of you guys, like, look at your woman's body and look at what it's been through? Look at the stretch marks on her thighs. Look at the stretch marks on her behind. Look at the things that are on her back. Look at her breasts. The things that the things that her body goes through. The breasts are have the milk of life. It's a statistic that's showing that babies that are breastfed have a less ability of catching diseases and sickness, because a mother's milk is the most purest. On the internet, they'll call it liquid gold. That's why there's some women that produce so much milk that they sell it. So when you start appreciating your woman's body, appreciating the things that it goes through on a daily, whether it's to cook, whether it's to clean, whether she's going out here to work and coming home and still trying to cook for you and clean for you and still trying to give you something at the end of the day. I mean, appreciate it. Some men know. I'll tell you a little something about me, right? So I wanted to be able to be like different, to where if I didn't have the bread to go take my woman to go get her nails done, her hair did, I wanted to learn how to do hair. I wanted to learn how to be able to do nails so that I could do her nails for her. When's the last time you went to work, came home from work, and rubbed her toes? Like, when's the last time you've done that? When's the last time that you've massaged her toes and just caressed her feet because of where she's been throughout life before she got to you? Think about that. So if you go back to biblical times, the most sacred, the most thing that you could do that was the most respect, and is still practiced to this day in some cultures, was washing somebody's feet. That's not something that's done a whole lot now, but the most precious and most sacred thing and the most respectful thing was to wash somebody's feet, to caress them, to make them feel good. All of that stuff, right, was to wash their feet. So a little tip, a little advice is that even if you're tired, it's going to mean a whole lot if you wash and dry and caress her feet and oil them up, to show her the ultimate respect, the ultimate love, the ultimate affection by doing that. After you've had a hard day, you take the time to do her feet. That, bro, you can't miss with that. Can't miss with that. Intimacy, guys. Intimacy can be done on a whole different level. You have couples, but I'll keep it real. I'll keep it 100 with you. Being intimate, I used to cook. I know how to cook and stuff like that. But you find out what your lady likes to drink and you make it for her. You find a recipe, you do it, you try to make your own spin, do whatever. Like cook, make random things to that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. It's all about the art of doing something out of the ordinary than just doing the ordinary or just doing the normal, the consistent normal. Intimacy, guys. You can be intimate and not have to be physically intimate. You don't have to Netflix and chill to Netflix and chill. You can have movie discussions. You can have trip discussions of where you want to go, how you want to do this, where do you want to, and those are all things, ask her what she wants to do in life. Where does she want to go? If money was not an issue, where would you want to go? If money was not an issue, where would you want to go? She'll say, okay, I want to go here. I'll say, is that all? So what I want you to do is I want you to find the place that you want to go, find the hotel that you want to go, find out the airline that you want to that takes us there, how many days you want to stay there, because what are you doing? You're bringing her dreams into reality. She just doesn't know it. That's the art of intimacy. Next, number 6, guys, and I'm gonna go. I have 10. So after I get to 10, then we'll see what happens. There's nobody in here, but we'll see what happens once we get to 10. So number 6, trust. How can you build and strengthen trust in your relationship? Build and strengthen trust in your relationship. The biggest way is to be 100% truthful, 100% honest, 100% authentic. The minute you're not authentic is the minute that you're being inauthentic. Be authentic. I have no problems telling, like, here's a story for you. So, my grandmother, my grandmother is she's off into the next world. She's chilling, posted up in the Most High, posted up with the Most High, singing, dancing, chilling, doing whatever she's doing. But I remember a time I was young, and my grandmother, me and my grandmother went on a walk. She's from Massachusetts, and me and my grandmother went on a walk, right? But before she went on a walk, and mind you, I'm little. And she came down, and I said to her, and my dad told me, I think it was my dad and my stepmom told me, this is what I said. I said, "Are you wearing that?" I'm like young, and she looked at me like, "Baby, like, what do you mean?" So she went upstairs and changed. Now, right, I'm young, right? I don't know. I'm just saying, whatever. So I was truthful to her. Now, ask yourself why. There's certain things that go on nowadays, as you see, these celebrity wives, they come out with a little to nothing on. Who are you trying to impress? You want another man to salivate over your body? That's for your man. You want your jigglies out? That's for your dude. Why do you have to show everybody your jigglies? That's for your man and your man's eyes only. Back in specific day, a woman could not show her hair, but only to her husband, because a woman's hair is her glory, right? So back in the day, they made you cover that stuff up. And still some cultures that they do that they make you cover your head up because a woman's hair is her glory. So that's why you guys have to understand why they make women cut their hair. They make them have these up hairdos, cut their hair off, straighten it. They don't realize that a woman's hair is their glory. That's why when most men see a woman with long hair, or depicted in movies, long hair, and it goes down to their butt and stuff like that, that's all imagery. Because a woman's hair is her glory. As the woman's hair gets shorter and shorter and shorter, they'll say, "Oh, she's losing her glory." No, it's just a trend. They put a lot of stuff into us to make sure that things don't function the correct way. So be honest, be truthful. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't be deceiving. If you want to see your cell phone, let her see your cell phone. If you're not doing nothing crazy, don't do nothing crazy. Cultivate the relationship that you're in. Cultivate the woman that you're in, because if you cultivate the woman that you're with, she's gonna cultivate you. If you respect her, she's gonna respect you. A woman is only going to give you her 100% heart if you give her your 100% heart. There's no reason to be out here and be mischievous and do things that you wouldn't do. Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, what's the point? Men are visual, and one thing that I say is, if you're in a relationship and you feel like the relationship is getting sus, not as spicy, change it up. Have her, put some different clothes on. Have her go get a wig. Have 6 wigs. Have her. Each wig has a different name. You really want to be creative. Put the different person's name in the phone differently. And then have her get a different. You can have different phones where you want to play that game. Play the game. Keep it spicy. Oh, I'm having a hookup with Watisha today. Da 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 da. Spice it up. Trust is key. You can, if you trust your spouse, you have nothing else to worry about. Nothing. So much is predicated on, oh, I got this nigga, this woman, this Brad, da 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 da. Like, a woman that's secure in her marriage is a powerful woman. You see the women that are secure in their marriage, they're off here doing everything, doing the most to get to the next level because they're secure in their marriage. I tell my wife, I say, you ain't got no worries about me. You ain't got no worries over here. What you got to worry about? Because I say, you see ass, you see titties, you see this all over the place. Women don't cover up anymore. It's everywhere. But that doesn't mean that I want to go stick my pole in everything. To me, it's not, not relevant. Like, if I have an urge, let me go home. I'll take off the urge at home with you. At home. That's what I do. There's no point to be out here being mischievous, doing stupid stuff. There's no point. What is the point of doing that? Because it's irrelevant. It's not what you need to do. If you're in a relationship and you feel like you're not getting enough, or she feels like she can't give you enough, then that's a different conversation. That's if she feels like it. But your job is to handle this. Her job is to make sure that she handles you. You're going to do what you need to do. She does what she needs to do. There's a give and take, but you have to be able to compromise in the give and take as well. It's not just one-sided. Trust is the key. If I trust you, you trust me, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm not over here cheating. You're not over here cheating. If you want to do something like that, have a conversation about it. Is it another woman that you want to bring into the house or the bed? Is it another man that you want to bring into the bed? I think the biggest thing right now is the whole idealism is why men get so crazy, and is that when a man has sex with a woman, he's conquering her. He's taking it as a trophy. And that's mine. Like, why are you trying to take something that belongs to me? You go back into the days of, Blackbeard, and I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Black Sails. That was kind of indicative of how things were back in that time frame. Even in certain biker clubs, they call them old ladies, and they have a sense of power. You watch what is it called, Sons of Anarchy, and how that structure was. It's kind of the same thing. So you would never disrespect a man's woman unless you wanted to take that woman for yourself, and then you would have to fight the man for her. But you never disrespect it. And so many men step on that. Like, you just want it for some cheeks. Oh, she looks good. You just want to get a nut off, and then that's it. That's all you want. Like, why are you trying to damage something? Why are you trying to take something that doesn't belong to you? There's no point in that. You have to have trust, and trust my woman. She should trust me, because I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for this. It'd be like, do you feel like this? Do you feel like that? I'd be like, no, not really. No point. It's like, well, do you think this? Like, no, that's too many energies. That's too many spirits. I ain't got time for all these. It's too tough to deal with the spirits I have to deal with now. Why would I want any extra? Unless you're like, I feel like this, or I feel like that, and I feel like this could be. I'll be like, well, I mean, that's we let's have a conversation about that, because not only am I taking on this, I'm taking on this. It's a responsibility factor. back in the day, there was a back in the day, it's not practice. It's practice in some cultures now, but back in the day, another man would go to another man, and the man would ask for his daughter's hand in marriage, and he had to give a offering to the father, to the family, so that they could have the daughter's hand in marriage. And now, when the daughter's hand in marriage, it was to say that the daughter was going to be taken care of financially. That's back in the day. So you guys gotta understand that all the stuff that we're doing is passed behind backwards. It's not the way that it traditionally was. Traditionally, it was, if you wanted a woman's hand in marriage, you had to go to the father and talk to the father, and then you would give an offering to take the daughter's hand in marriage to help the family continue to grow. That's how it was back in the day. Trust, guys. You gotta build on the trust and keep the trust 100. No fake, no phony. Be 100% authentic. Number seven, guys, is financial planning. How should we approach financial decisions, and can we work together towards our financial goals? Financial planning is key, guys. Financial planning, you have to plan for your future. If you do not plan for your future will plan itself for you. Just like if you don't plan for your money, somebody will have a plan for your money for you. Now, in this day and age and the times, you have to be a little bit more frugal in what you're going to do. How much money you're going to spend in bills, how much you're going to spend in savings, how much you're going to spend in planning for the future, how much you're going to spend on this, how much you're going to spend on this, how much you're going to spend on a car, how much you're going to spend. You have to plan, because if you have a plan, then you know the direction that you're going. See, back in the day, I will always go back in the day. Back in the day, the man went out and made the money, and he brought the check home. It was the woman's responsibility to pay the bills, cook, clean, take care of the house, and pay the bills. The man just got the money, brought the money home. It's her job to pay the bills. It's now become the man makes the money, the man pays the bills, and the woman don't have to do a whole lot. It's changed. Financial planning was a couple thing, was a relationship thing. Is if he goes out here and works, he brings the check home. It was your job to balance everything. The balance. He's working, balancing working, trying to balance everything else, trying to make sure he makes enough money. Job to balance the checkbook, what we can and cannot afford. A lot of times, that's why a lot of times you hear in conversations with car dealerships and stuff like that, they say, well, let me go home and talk to the wife, or let me talk to the wife, because the wife is the one that knows the financial basis of the family. She knew. It's totally 100% predicated on the man. Back in the day, it was 100% predicated on both of them. He brought the money in and she balanced everything. And that's why the man would say, I got to check with my wife to see if we can financially afford it. It was a two-part team. Financial goals, guys, are 100% the most important thing to be able to build a stronger and better relationship. You guys have to plan together. Plan together so you can live together, so you can work together, so you can achieve together. So, number 8, guys, would be family planning. What are other thoughts about family planning, and how do we envision our futures together? You guys got to think about how you guys are going to live together, how you guys are going to envision your lives together, how you guys are going to achieve goals together. How are you guys going to achieve greatness, financial greatness? Are you guys going to start a business? Are you guys going to work together in that business? Are you guys going to plan for your kids? Are you guys going to plan for your kids' kids? Are you guys going to plan it for your kids' kids' kids? Are you guys going to buy in a house? Are you going to be building property? Are you going to be getting land? Financially, you want to have a plan so that you guys can get to the best part of life and relax and coast. You guys got to have that. Financial planning is key. Most people don't understand that money is not made the way it was before. A lot of parents nowadays don't understand the way that the way they worked in life does not work now. They don't understand that. They're stuck in the 1960s way. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, get good grades, get a degree, work a job. What jobs are paying? Ask yourself that. What jobs are paying? There's not a whole lot of jobs that are paying right now. Not a whole lot. So if there's not a whole lot of jobs that are paying, rent's up, lights up, water's up, insurance is up, food is up, all your goods are up. You may not have the money to pay for your college student loans, rents. You may not have that. You may not have money for food. Financial planning, family planning is key. What you're going to do and how you're going to do it. You have to sit down, have a conversation of where you guys want your family to go. If you sit down and have a conversation of where your family is going to go, then you guys can be prepared, not surprised in this thing of life that we have going on. Number 9, shared responsibilities. This is a big one. Shared responsibilities. How can we ensure the fair distribution of responsibilities within our relationship? It's a matter of what you guys want to do. Do you guys want it all totally predicated on the man doing everything where you don't have to do a lot of stuff? Or do you want to split the responsibilities? Responsibilities is something that oh my God, I get so frustrated with responsibilities, because responsibilities are endless. As you get older and as you've been in a relationship and you've been married for 20, 30, 40 years, you have responsibilities. The harsh reality is that when you get in a relationship, you marry the person that you're going to grow old with, and you're going to have things that come up that you guys are supposed to deal with together. That's why it says a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. A man should not be alone. That's spiritual. That's biblical. God gave man woman so man would not be alone. Rib for my rib, bone for my bone, flesh for my flesh. That says that in the Bible. So, when you're talking about shared responsibilities, it was not only the man's responsibility. It was the man and the woman's responsibility. Because if you share responsibilities, everything goes smoothly. But if it's only on one person, that one person is going to be overwhelmed, which causes sickness, which causes anger, frustration, distrust. All from 1 through 8 goes out the window, because you have to have 1 through 8 to have 9. You have to have 1 through 8 to have 9. You have to have it. If you don't have it, you're asking for a plethora of fuck ups. Excuse my language, a plethora of mess ups. You're asking for it. You're asking for it. Shared responsibility. If I go to work, then if I have to go to work and I have to work so many hours, and I should not have to come home, clean the house, cook, take care of bills, take care of this, take care of that, and then there's nothing left for the other person in the relationship to do. If you share the responsibilities, my legs was getting rough, was getting stiff. If you share the responsibilities, guys, it's fun, it's exciting. When me and my wife decided we want to go on trips, here's the thing. I know what I'm good at, I know what she's good at. I handle the stuff that I'm good at, she handles the stuff that she's good at, and it ends up going off without a hitch, because we do what we're good at. We share the responsibility. When you share the responsibility with somebody that knows what they're good at, and you know what you're good at, and you share it, bro, it goes off without a hitch, and you have a great time. Gotta remember, sharing the responsibility. If you're working, cool. If she's working, cool. If you're both working, cool. Then you know what the responsibility is when you get home. The unsung rule is, if I cook, you do the dishes. If you cook, I do the dishes. It's sharing the responsibility. That's what it is. You have to share the responsibility. It's not all on one person. So many things right now is making it all on one person, while the other person just sits back and relax. If you want to sit back and relax, cool. But you have responsibilities too. It's not just a free ride. It's not. You got to share the responsibilities. And last one, guys, we've been on here for 1 hour and 11 minutes, guys. So we're going through 10, right? And in 10, it says long-term vision. What is our shared vision for our future, and how can we actively work towards it together? You guys got to know where you guys want to go. Hands down, you guys got to know where you guys want to go. You guys got to know what you guys want to achieve. If you know what you're going to want to achieve, then you can actively put a plan to get to where you want to go. If you want to travel, cool. If you want to be able to go overseas, cool. You got to get your passports. You got to get your shots. You got to know where you're going, how you're going, how much it's going to cost, so you can devise a plan, a vision. You have to have a vision. Once you have the vision, then you write it down so you can make it plain, so you can make it clear. Once it's clear and you have a vision, then you can actively put a plan in together to make your vision come to reality. That's what it is, guys. You have to have a plan. You have to stick to your plan. You have to make your plan become a reality. And once you have that become a reality, everything comes comes into together. You guys gotta have that. So this, guys, is an hour and 13 minutes navigating love, a deep dive into relationship dynamics, guys. I appreciate you guys watching it on the replay. Definitely, guys, I hope that you guys will, like the video, share it if you feel like it resonated with you guys. If it gave you some value. I'm gonna try to do some of these every week on Sundays. I'm gonna try to, but definitely like it, share it. I'm gonna look at the likes. If I get enough likes, and I'll be like, all right, cool, it resonated with enough people. It is on my Facebook page and my Create Freedom Academy Facebook page. Me and my cousin share this group together. We're trying to create freedom and build generational wealth. It's combined with Wills to Wealth as well as it's on our Soulful Connections YouTube page as well. And I'll try to put some things in together so we can have some different clips from this video, guys. But I appreciate you guys tuning in for this hour. I hope that it helps you guys in some way, shape, or form in looking at your own relationships, looking at what you guys can do to get better, and reminding each other that it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's our fault, so that we can get to a better level. We have to take responsibility so we can have accountability, so that we can take the next step. Responsibility and taking accountability will get you to the next level. It's never one person's fault. It's never just yours. It's never just hers. It's never just one person. It's our fault. So when we decided it was our fault, so now we can say it was our fault. Now how can we fix it and make it better? So at the bottom, guys, if you guys want to check out one of my I Believe Black Top for Life t-shirts, they're really cool. I designed them myself. It's on my Etsy store. That's at the bottom, I Believe Black Top for Life, as well as I have some other shirts on there that might make you see different things. That's why it's called Deep Thought Threads. As well, guys, is music was by 76 Super. You can find his music on Facebook. Facebook, Apple Music, and Spotify, and things like that. As well as if you guys want to check out any one of my books, I do have a couple I do have one relationship book. You can find it in my link, my link tree. Be in the description below there as well, so you guys can get an idea. If you guys want to donate to the channel, it is I am Coach Will, 888. If you want to donate to the channel, so we can do other things, do some help some other people as we get down the road to get to the next load, to get paid, guys. I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that it resonated with some of you guys, and I hope that next time, guys, when I come back, I have some other questions, some other things that we can talk about, so you guys can have the best type of relationship and best type of marriage. Because at the end of the day, marriage is key, because that's the only way that we're going to see the world get to another level and harnessing what we have. Remember to be blessed, less stress, keep the left door closed, the right foot down. Only one is safe, guys. Like always, I will see you on the blacktop. Safe trucking, guys.
Round we go. Limitless expansion of my soul. Round and round and around I go. Infinite energy, eternity flow. Round and round and around we go. Limitless expansion of my soul. Round and round and around I go. It was all a dream. I used to think I was a human being. Now look at me, looking ahead at all the memories. Yeah. Imagining you, imagining me. Yeah. 7, 6, 4. Peace. Never fall to the floor. If I was words, never to the floor. Marisha got my back and I know. Eva's words never fall to the floor. Never fall to the floor. Eva's words never fall to the floor. Marisha got my back and I know. Eva's words, Eva's words. I'm F on Daddy, Omo, I will follow. My old Luo never told me no lie. Got advised, then I chose to comply. Eva's words never fall, they just rise. Ay, they be throwing dirt on us on the low. That was soil I was using to grow. The taste of honey still be so sweet to me. Why they salty talking sour about me? Ay, praise the Lord, I'm a child of the light. Praise the Lord, black's 1,000 midnights. In my hands, I was just holding on my life. Holding on my life. Holding on my life. Never fall to the floor. Eva's words never fall to the floor. Marisha got my back and I know. Eva's words never fall to the floor. Never fall to the floor. Eva's words never fall to the floor. Marisha got my back and I know. Eva's words, Eva's words.
Abaroa, boy, hapo shishe. Ego dide, eshu dide. Agoya, moya, dide. I stand for greatness. Ain't no time for this fake shit. Everything that they saying, they took and they taking. When I'm speaking is ancient. I don't say it, I say it. Remember that saying, don't say it, don't spread. My ancestors spraying. When the room in our land, he came prepared to further the land. Give knowledge to man and embodiment. He find acknowledgement. I be learning to the end of eternity. My God's are immortal. We can open the portal.
If I says he will accept what we have done. If I says that he will accept what we have done. Divine for Oshe Meti. Akbara Lake Alale. Adifa Fuma Rumila. When Ifa has surely conquered the natural world. And Ifa has surely conquered the supernatural world. And oh, there is no Irumole who is born who compares to Ifa. Ifa has surely conquered the natural world. Ifa has surely conquered the supernatural world, and there is no deity who compares to Ifa. Ashe.
Kisartify for building, Kisartify for children, Kisartify for killing, Kisartify for building, Kisartify for knowledge, Kisartify for problems, Kisartify for bucking, Kisartify for bucking.